Welcome to Breaking News. I'm Miley and bring you latest news on today. Early exit polls highlight at least one key takeaway about this year's midterm so far. This election was about President Donald Trump. More than two-thirds of midterm voters say that the direction this election was tied to their attitudes toward the Trump presidency, according to a survey from CNN. In that same poll, 26% of voters say that they backed Trump, while 39% opposed him. Media also found that almost half of voters strongly disapproved of the job Trump is doing.
Exit polls are conducted by various organizations, including media outlets, after voters have left the ballot box, offering a snapshot of how people voted in certain races and where they stand on particular issues. Because of their immediacy and the access they have to actual voters, exit polls can offer some of the most accurate information about the demographics of the electorate and people's stances on different policy areas. Exit polls can only tell us so much since they're highly independent on the voter pool that outlets are able to survey. In 2016, for example, some early exit polls suggested that Hillary Clinton was on track for a win, even though she eventually ended up losing to Trump. In addition to offering some insights on voters' perspectives of Trump, the exit polls thus far have also reaffirmed just how much healthcare has been a driving issue during this election. According to the poll, 40% of voters call our health care as the issue they saw as most important this cycle, and 70% agree that the country's healthcare system needed significant changes. This data matches up with how Democrats have framed their campaigns with this cycle, hammering this issue of health care, and the role that Republican incumbents have played in backing a repeal of the Affordable Care Act. Voters also said that the economy, immigration, and gun control were among the top areas they were considering in this year's election, according to the poll. On the issue of immigration, the poll found that roughly 50% of voters felt that Trump's approach to immigration was too tough, and about a third considered it just right. Early exit polls showed that a sizable percentage of voters were participating in a midterm election for the first time. 16% of those surveyed indicated that they were first-time midterm voters. Additionally, 1 in 4 Latino voters indicated that it was their first midterm election, compared to about 1 in 5 African American voters and 1 in 10 white voters, NBC News notes. Democrats have long looked to Latino voters to help flip seats in states like Arizona, California, and Texas. This data suggests that there could be a possible surge in Latino voter turnout this year, although a similarly expected increase failed to materialize in 2016. A groundbreaking number of women and people of color could join Congress this cycle, and voters appear to heavily favor such increases. Nearly 80% of voters said it was very or somewhat important for more women to be elected to public office, while 70% of voters said that the same about electing more minority lawmakers. It's worth reiterating that exit polling, much like polling in general, doesn't offer a definitive picture of exactly what's happening. It does capture, however, attitudes among voters on election day, and these surveys can ultimately help offer an explanation of why certain candidates end up winning.
And this story appears in Breaking News. We'll be tracking these exit polls throughout the night as more information grows in about how exactly midterm voters viewed their decisions in time around. Subscribe and follow us along with more about Trump's administration policy and the situation of election. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the duration of today's program. Thank you for watching.